Hello, friends. I was inspired by Bonnie and Clive. She's a crafter that likes to use found things. And I was not familiar with her. Somebody mentioned her on somebody else's channel. And so I watched a video that she did. And she had done these little tags made out of book pages and sewn around them with red. And she punched a hole at the top of one of those slot holes and put red fabric up here. And then she had decorated them with things that she'd taken off of packaging. A lot of it was red. And I thought that it was really cute. She had some of the blanks stacked up on her table, and the red was showing around them a little bit, and I just thought they looked cute stacked. And I thought, well, maybe that's something I could do different with that inspiration. So I will link her video down below so you can watch her video. She's a neat gal. So anyway, I'm also inspired by my friend Kathleen, who always inspires me, but she does layers and she does pockets and things. I was thinking about her peekaboo pockets, and I don't know if this is going to be a peekaboo pocket because I don't think it's the right shape to do that. But anyway, I was thinking about stacking these together and gluing it so that there is a pocket in there, and then you can add a tag or something in it. So that's what I'm going to do with this. I have 3 sets here that I can work with. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is glue these 2 pages together. I'm going to use Fabri-Tac, and I'm just going to glue this kind of at an angle on there. Put the glue across the bottom and up at the top side here. We'll see how that does. I may need to put just a little bit of glue on this part that I've folded up like a pocket so that it will stay in place. And get my threads out of the way. Let's see, I think I want it about like that. And I think I glued it in the wrong part here. I have too much glue there. Fabri-Tac, you can just roll it off with your finger. Of course, it may take some of the type off too, but that's okay. Just get the sticky stuff off. I'm going to come back in here and just glue this part right here just a little bit. And right up here. Whoops, not good enough. Okay, so now we have a side tuck here and this little pocket here, and it's just partially glued there. I'm going to put a little bit of glue down here at the bottom, and I'm going to put glue on this edge right there. I'm going to go ahead and glue these, and then I'll come back and decorate them. This one, I liked the idea of having the red showing around it, so I'm just going to glue it down. I think I'm going to glue like an L shape, so it's a tuck spot on there. And then I want it to show the red around it. Like that. Okay, and then this one, I haven't glued this page together or sewn around it, but I was thinking I might put this on this top and have this part be the pocket in there, or I could glue it down together, or I could make it 2 pockets. Actually, I think I'm going to glue this together and then just make the pocket on top. There's my glue stick. Okay. I went ahead and inked the edges of these. I have not inked this, but I think I will real quick. This paper is from an old novel that I picked up somewhere for free. I think it was at the library, maybe. It's a Phyllis A. Whitney novel from years ago called The Winter People. It's kind of a little bit creepy. It's kind of a psychological, I guess, kind of mystery note romance thing. I read it before I tore it up. I thought, I'm not going to read this again, but The pages are real soft paper, and so they tear with a good ragged edge. And let's see if I can do this one. Like that. Okay. And then I'm going to glue this on, and I'm going to make it a side pocket too. But I'm going to glue the top of it. Like that. And I kind of want that ragged edge to show, and I also want the folded edge to be there too. So this is going to be the pocket here and not that, even though it might look like the pocket. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to punch holes at the top. And I don't have that slot punch that Bonnie had, but I have my regular hole punch. I'm going to punch in the center, and then I'm going to punch to each side of it and kind of make that one make kind of a scallopy thing. We'll see how that works. This one I'm going to just punch it plain, and this one I'm going to punch. I think I'm going to do the same thing on it. Punch it where it's a little wider. Some crafters are already thinking about the 250th anniversary of the United States, and it might be fun to do the red, white, and blue on this. I've got some blue tickets and some other things on here. I've got some little pieces here. Maybe that, and I've got some red stamps here. Maybe I'll put one of those on there. This is an American stamp, so I'll use it since we're thinking about 4th of July centennial stuff. Needs a little something else. I could put some doily behind it. I have this doily that's really pretty. Could put part of that on there. Let's see what we can do with this. See if we like it. Maybe like that. Red, white, and blue. Or I could put it down on this part down below. Since this pocket, I could put something in there. Maybe that's what I'll do on this one. Except I think this is a little bit too big and too straight. So I'm going to crumple it up a little bit and glue it down. Also cover up this type that's upside down right here. It doesn't bother me particularly, but at least it won't be just jumping out as, oh, that type's upside down. And then a ticket. Keep this coupon. I guess that's for a raffle. And the stamp. Yeah, I think I like that. We'll do that. Like that. I've got this red. It's got a gold or silver or blue kind of line through it. So I think I'll use that instead. And I'm just going to have enough to go through that slot. Put this on here. I'm going to go ahead and tie a bow, a knot, and then I'm going to staple it, I think is what I will do. Like that. And I think this little stapler has some gold staples in it, so we'll try it this time. See how that will do. Okay. So we have that. I went to the thrift store the other day and I found a whole bunch of these stamps, used stamps. And I bought four different ones, 4 designs, 2 scriptures, and 2 kind of French-looking stamps. I paid about $1 a piece for them, I think it was. I'm going to stamp this scripture on this blue card to go in here. Get my little felt thing. I'm going to do just black on here. This is Black Soot Archival ink. And I stamped this stamp. I used this stamp the other day, and I noticed that the N on never is kind of broken up, and so it looks like ever. And it changes the verse completely. It's, the steadfast love of the Lord never ends. Instead, it is broken on that end, so it's ever ends, which is we know is wrong. So I'm going to fix that with a marker and stamp this on this little blue piece of index card as best I can, centered and straight, I hope. And we'll see how it turns out. Okay. All right. It looks like it did pretty good. But I'll show you the mistake on it right there. So I'm going to fix that with a black marker. I have this. It's a Micron 01. So I'm going to just put my N back in there. I hope my head doesn't get in the way. Let's see what that looks like. It has a little curve on there. Okay. So I fixed it with my pen. There we go. I just need to remember to do that every time. And, you know, I looked at them, and I couldn't tell. I didn't have a chance to stamp them before I bought them. So it was kind of, you know, take your chances. But I think it's fine because I like the stamps. And they may not be brand new. They may not be the best in the world. But I still like the scripture that's on it, which says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ends. His mercies are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness." And that's from Lamentations 3:22 and 23, it looks like. Yes, 23. It's kind of blurry there. So that's that. And I thought this might go in this pocket cute, or in the bigger pocket. Hope that ink is dry. Can go there. And then you could put something else in this pocket, even just a little tag or something like that. Not like that. Maybe this. With something else with it, perhaps. There. So that is the first one there. And then on this one, I have these tags. I made some of these tags in a different video, and I can link to that also. I thought it'd be fun to put another clock face on this, and I have this one from this set of stamps. These are from Amazon. It's silicone clear stamp, and it's different clocks and keys and things. And this one just fits inside of there, so that's what I'm using. Again, I'm going to do black and hope I can get it on there straight and everything. So we will see how that goes. Okay. I like to hold it down for a little while to make sure it makes a good impression. And then I always just hope for the best after that. Okay. There we go. There's our little clock. Turned out good, I think. And I had colored that blue. I have these daubers that I made from a felt pad that goes on a chair leg or something that you don't want to scratch the floor. It's just self-adhesive. And a sewing thread spool. Somebody had mentioned in another video about maybe using wine bottle corks, which would also work. But anyway, I just inked this up real good, and I put it down. It fit right in the center of this, and I just turned it back and forth and rubbed it on there without lifting it up at first, and it colored it blue like that. So I was pleased with the way that worked out. I think I'm going to put this red ribbon on this one. Again, I'm just going to tie it through the hole here. Okay, about like that. And I'm stapling these to just make it a little more secure on the card, as well as give a little more interest with the bling, the metal staple. And that one kind of wants to go down, so I'm going to let it. I'm just going to let it do that. And staple this again. Or not again. I'm stapling it for the first time, but you know what I mean. There we go. So it's like that. Okay. And then I thought what I would do is use one of these bulb pens. I bought these out of the sewing area at Hobby Lobby. The brand is Yarnology, and they were $4.29. But I bought them on a day that it was 40% off. So I don't know if they still have these or not. I haven't looked lately. But you might want to check. I think that's a lot cheaper than some of the other brands that you can get that are more expensive. And you know me, I'm always looking for a bargain. I think I want that to go this way so I can run that through. I'm just pinning that on that ribbon like that so that it's on there. On this one, it might be fun to have something that's long and skinny. And what do I have that's long and skinny? I have a stamp of a key. I could put that on there. Maybe that's what I'll put on there. And again, I'm just using the black archival ink. Okay. Get this laid down flat where it doesn't look like it's turning crooked. I don't think I've used this one before. Okay. Put it right there. I hope I didn't just smear that. Okay, there's the key on there. I think that looks kind of cute. These were from Dollar General, Crafter's Closet. I don't know if they have these anymore or not. They've changed a lot of what they have. But that's where I got them. And that's not real tall, so I don't know about that. And then these are little bags I also got there. I have this that I have stamped this lace design on it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it down to about 2 inches and just slide it in there. I'm just going to use my knife and ruler. And then I could stamp something on it. A sentiment or something like that. Okay, I could use either piece. I could use that piece or I could use this piece. I think I'm going to use this. It's just a stamp. It's an American stamp. So I think I'm going to put it on there, just at the top. Maybe this should be the top. What do we think? Would that be better? I don't know. We'll just do it. What I did on my pockets is I just sewed around them with the sewing machine with some red thread. I didn't glue them together. I think Bonnie glued hers and then sewed around them, but I didn't do that. I just did the sewing on them. I actually forgot that she did that. But it works out either way. You can glue it down. Might make it easier to sew around it. Okay. So there is that. And we'll slide that. I think I need to ink that a little bit with some brown. Just going to go around this a little bit. Just because it's so white. Okay, and that one can go inside here. And it just barely goes in there. So it's sticking out a little bit, which is fine with me. Might have been good if the stamp showed a little more, but that's okay. Gotta trim that off just a bit. Okay, so there's that one with the key and the little clock face and the card inside. And then you can glue it into your journal as a tuck spot or a side pocket, or put it into a pocket, or clip it to the side of a page. Now, if you wanted to, you could stamp this image on a different piece of paper and cut it out, fussy cut it out or tear it out, and then put it on the page with some lace or tea bag or whatever you wanted behind it. Of course, you can decorate these any way you choose. On this one, I set it up where the opening is on the right side of for the pocket. And I would like to put a little tag in there. This one is will fit, but it's kind of short. So I think what I will do is add something to it. I'm going to use this brown tag and attach it to this white card that I used the other half of in the other tag that I made. And I'm going to attach them together to go in this pocket. And I think that will fit in there like that. It'll be fine. So I'm going to punch a hole in the top and tie it together with a gold cord. I'm just using my regular hole punch, and I lined the cards up together so that I could punch through the hole in the brown card to make it even with the one on the white card and have them positioned correctly together. This is gold thread that I have. It's just a lightweight gold cord, and I'm going to double it up and run it through the holes and then tie it onto the cards together so they're holding together. I just looped the cord through it and pulled the ends through the loop, and then I realized that the cord is kind of flimsy and I'm tying knots in the end to keep it from unraveling. And I'm also going to tie those two pieces together because the loop is not holding very well. Now that I have those cords tied off and the cards tied together, I realize that I need to add a little something to the back card to make it more interesting. Let me see if I have a stamp. I have this stamp. It says, "I thank my God upon every remembrance of you." And that's Philippians 1:3. And I'm just going to stamp it on with some black soot archival ink and just get enough ink on it that I can get it stamped. Just going to put it here at the bottom of the card and press it down for a little bit so it gives a good impression. Okay, that looks like a pretty good impression. And I now think that I need to put something on this tag. I have this sticker pack from Hobby Lobby. It's called Stickabilities. And it's like on vellum so that it's kind of a clear surface on them. I think I like this rose right here. I'll put that on the tag. You can see when I put it down how the background fades away when I press it down. And I think that looks pretty. And you can see the lace stamping on the back behind it, on the card behind it. The card is done. Let's see if it fits in this pocket like I want it to. Yeah, I think that'll work. Now I just need to put something on the front. Take this back out. I have this little piece of muslin. I think I'm going to put that on the front here, glue it down with some Fabri-Tac, and then I'll put something else on top. Just get this glue going here. Okay. And I'm just going to kind of squish it together and make it a little bit wrinkled up on there. And I have it totally smooth. See if I can get a little bit adjusted here. Okay, that looks pretty good. I have this pack of Paper Studio die cuts, different images, and I'm just going to pull them out and look through here to see if I can find something that I like to put on there. A lot of different things in here. Some of them are botanicals like this one is, and that would work pretty well, but it seems like it's a little wider than I'd like for it to be. Keep looking here. Oh, here's one. I like this better. It has buttons on it and a little bit of fern back behind there. To see if there's anything else that I'd rather have right now. But I think that's going to work for me. And I'll get these put away. And these mushrooms would be cute on there, but I don't think they go with the flower on the tag as well. So I'm going to stay with the button one. Put these away. And it looks like the printed tag has some jute tied through a hole at the top. And I think what I'm going to do is punch that out and tie some some actual jute through it, and then I will glue it down over the muslin. Okay, I have this little piece of jute that I'm going to tie through this hole that I punched, and just a knot at the top. I'm not going to tie a bow or anything like that, just enough to hold it in place. And then I'm going to glue it down over that muslin, as I said. I'm using Fabri-Tac on this as well. And I'm gluing down on one side mainly and leaving one corner a little bit loose. I'm thinking about maybe putting a little something extra in that spot when I get it all finished. Just a little, maybe a little something to bring a little more color in there. And let's put this back in the pocket. Let's see. I tore that edge and it wants to catch on there. I kind of wish I'd left the torn edge as the edge of the pocket, but this will be fine. There we go. Okay. Let's take a look at the finished pieces now. This one is the one that has the double pocket in front with the scripture behind the first pocket. And then it could have a tag, a ribbon in the top if you wanted to do that, to tie something in the top. But since it already has a ribbon in the back pocket, I'm not going to do that. And this one has a little tag and a little piece of ephemera there. And then this one has the dangle made from the key tag. And in the pocket, it has this stamp that's on the card that says, "And this be our motto, and God is our trust." And that's from Francis Scott Key. And that's on a 4-cent postage stamp, so it's probably from long ago. This one is the one that has the buttons on the tag and a tag inside with a double tied together tag. And it fits it back in the pocket there. And it also has that little side pocket tucked behind the front tag there, with the one that has the buttons on it. And I'm going to put a little something blue in there to kind of tie into this blue that I'm putting in the ribbon in the top that I forgot to do earlier. This is just some blue satin ribbon that I have. It's about 1 inch wide, I think. And it was already cut off with pinking shears on the end. And so I'm going to cut it off, both pieces, with the pinking shears. And I'm just going to fold this over and kind of adjust it where it's kind of fanned out a little bit. And then I'm going to staple it with my little stapler that has the gold staples in it to hold it in place. It's a little tricky to get it in the position to get that staple in the right spot, but maybe I can get it done here. Okay. And it looks like I may need to put a little glue back there behind it, which I will do to hold it steady. Anyway, that is my project for today. I hope you like it, and maybe it gave you some ideas of ways that you could use some book pages. And also, I wanted to mention that if you wanted to write on the back, then you could paint the back of them with some gesso or some acrylic paint, even white or whatever color you chose. Then it would send that type to the background, and you could write back there. So this is my project, and I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.